Canadians Lightning, Mario, Stanley Cup Final Game 2 went to the Lightning yet again. They take a 2-0 series in the Stanley Cup Final. They won 3-1 last night, Mario. Um, and I'm going to be honest with you, Mario. It was a good win by the Lightning, but it was a little sloppy in a lot of aspects. I'll explain. I'll explain now. Okay, so I look at this win, right, and I did watch the highlights because unfortunately I was working, so I couldn't really watch the game. So I kind of took my time to watch the highlights, and I look at the game, Mario, and it was relatively sloppy on both sides. I'll start off with the Lightning. There are a couple of things that stand out to me. First of all, they didn't make any of the power plays. They had three of them. They didn't make on a single one. They had 20 minutes in the penalty minute box, Mario, and they had a face-off percentage of 47.4, and they only made 23 shots on goal. So I look at this, Mario, and it was relatively, I won't say it was completely sloppy because they did do a lot of things very, very well, like we expect out of a team. But I look at it, and it isn't the best win. It's a good win, but it's not the best. I'll say it like that. Not to mention, I'm going to the Canadians right now, Mario, and I'm going to be honest, they slack in every category. Let me explain something to you, okay? Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman, Yanni Gord, Steven Stamkos. Those guys did not have a single point this game. They didn't even have a goal and assist, none of that, and you still lost the game. I'm going to be honest with you, Mario. The Canadians are screwed. I look at this, right? And everybody that scored aren't those four guys that I mentioned, that you mentioned a lot. That's the big four, like you said. Anthony Cirelli had a goal. Same thing with Blake Coleman and Andre Palat. They all had goals. We don't talk about those guys a lot because they're not a part of that big four. So they did a good job with stopping. But my problem with it is you're not capitalizing on that opportunity to score and win the game. You know what I mean? That's why I call the Canadians sloppy because, yeah, you're stopping those guys, but you're not doing what you have to do. When you only have one guy score 1 point for you, that's a problem. That guy, by the way, was Nick Suzuki, in case if you're wondering. Carey Price didn't have his best game either. 20 saves out of 23 shots. It's just Andre Vasilevsky had a really great game as well. 42 saves out of the 42 shots made by the Canadians. So I look at this game, Mario. The Lightning were a little bit sloppy here and there, but so were the Canadians. Again, they also served 20 minutes in the penalty box. They made 1 out of 3 power plays, which isn't, it's not bad, but it could be better. They won their faceoffs. They won their faceoffs with a percentage of 52.6, excuse me, and they have 43 shots on goal. So that's good. But my problem is that you're not capitalizing on these opportunities. Yeah, you shot that big four, and that's good. I'll give them that. But you're not winning the game either. So at the end of the day, it's, when I look at the Canadians, they need to capitalize on these opportunities. That's just what's going wrong for them. As for the Lightning, again, power plays, you got to make them. You got to win your faceoffs. Stay out of that damn penalty box. That's something that's been an issue for the Lightning for quite a few games, Mario. I remember there was a time where they spent 40, 50 minutes in the penalty box, which is just insane. But this is a little lower, so it's not as bad, but still, 20 minutes is still a lot. That's like a third of the entire game. So, honestly, Mario, I look at it. It was a good win. I'll say that. I won't say anything more than good. It was a good win. Game 3 will be on, I believe, Friday. Yeah, it's going to be on Friday. That one's going to Montreal. It's going to be on 8 p.m. on NBC. So make sure you go check that out. But overall, Mario, I look at this, and as a result, I say the Canadians need to capitalize on opportunities. Continue to stop those four guys, like I mentioned. Victor Hedman, Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, and maybe Yanni Gord, because Yanni Gord can be clutch. So stop him as well. But you got to capitalize on the opportunities as well. And that's just something that they're failing to do. So, and as for the Lightning, got to get better with the power plays. Got to win the face-offs. You gotta stop staying out of that penalty box for too long. And other than that, I don't really have issues for the team. So, with that being said, again, game 3 is on Friday, so make sure you go check that out. And best of luck to both teams coming game 3.
Yeah, first of all, Nate, this is one of the very rare wins for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the reason why I say that is because they had to win like a win like this in game 7, but it was like a 1-0 win and everything like that, against the Islanders. But when I look at this, is a very rare win because this is a decently offensive game for the Lightning where they had 3 goals, but the big four was not involved. So you did a good job with stopping that big four. Like I keep saying, great job. But then overall, it came down to the Lightning's picking their shot. And not only that, maybe we got to give a lot of credit to Andre Vasilevsky. Okay, we got to give him a lot of credit. This man had
Amazing job.
amazing job. This man had 43 shots on his goal and he saved 42 out of 43. You can't ask for more out of a goalie. So when your goalie is really on fire like that, which, this is no surprise because this is Andre Vasilevsky, we're used to seeing him do this. So when your goalie is really on fire like that, it really does help the team. Although I want to point to one thing, okay? At one point, the game was 2-1, okay? It was 2-1 Lightning in the third period. And with 15 minutes and 42 seconds in the third period, Nate, I think I've seen one of the most careless choices or decisions I've seen out of the team. Joel Edmondson on the Canadiens, he was behind the goal, or he was skating. He was about to skate around the goal, and instead of because usually what happens, Nate, is when you get surrounded, you keep the puck on the boards, and you start seeing them fight for the puck on the boards, because one guy's, they're fighting for the puck to see who gets possession of it. You understand what I'm saying? This case, what he does is instead of doing that, he decides to pass the puck behind him, and then guess who was there to get the puck? Andre Palat. And Andre Palat just said, thanks for the gift, and then got that right into the goal. You can't make careless decisions like that, especially in the Stanley Cup. You can't do it, Nate. He didn't even look. It looked like he just passed it back. Palat ended up getting possession of the puck, and he scored it. And by the time Edmondson turned around, he realized, damn, I screwed up. But overall, Nate, when we look at this, Coleman, Palat, Cirelli, those are the three guys that got the goal. And then the only person offensively for the Canadiens that had any type of success was Nick Suzuki. He had one goal, unassisted. Other than that, everybody else was a no-show. Look, I always talk about how shooting the puck on the goal, the more times you shoot, the more chances you have of scoring that goal, which is true. But when you're over aggressive, sometimes that's not a good idea neither. It's just not. And the difference between the Canadiens and the Lightning, where the Lightning picked their shots and they picked them very well, the Canadiens did not. And overall, I look at the team stats, Nate. 13 takeaways for the Lightning. That is definitely a big reason why they won this game as well. They out-hit them by 4, but that's really nothing. Each of them had 20 minutes in the penalty box. That's unnecessary. I'm still waiting for the Lightning to actually score in their power plays. And they overall, it comes back to the point that the Lightning found their opportunities and they took advantage of them. And the Canadiens just didn't do that. 43 shots on goal, you only get one in. So I got to give a lot of credit to Andre Vasilevsky. I got to give a lot of credit to not the stars of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but the supporting cast around them. And I'm going to be honest with you, Nate, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are the most well-built hockey team in these playoffs, without a doubt. Because even though the big three is not getting involved, you look at Andre Palat, you look at Anthony Cirelli, you look at those guys, and those guys on any other team would definitely be the leading scorer, in my opinion. But because you're on a team with Kucherov, Braden Point, Victor Hedman, Steven Stamkos, they're taking that supportive role. But that supportive role, they're doing a really good job at it, Nate. So with that being said, best of luck to both teams in Game 3. Game 3 is going to be in Montreal. I believe it's going to be on NBC Sports, if I'm correct.
Just NBC.
NBC, all right.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go check that out. With that being said, best of luck to both teams. For the Lightning, keep doing what you're doing. For the Canadiens, again, time to go back to the drawing board. You got to figure something out.